Who are you and what did you do?
Hi, my name is Kaan, and I won the Austrian Open last Saturday.
Awesome, congratulations. Why did you
Thank you.
choose Dracotail and specifically branded Dracotail?
Um, I played Dracotail before. When it came out, I quite liked the deck in that time, but lately I've been trying out different decks. But with the addition of the new branded quick play, I just wanted to give this version a shot.
Yeah,
And yeah, that's basically the whole reason. I just wanted to test it. Just figuring out what to play for the YCS in Bologna. And I honestly didn't expect to win the Open. But yeah, here I am.
yeah. Well, I mean, fantastic preparation, which is pretty cool to see. Yes, obviously, like a lot of opens are leading into the Bologna here, so I feel like it's a lot of really good practice for people. So I feel like you've definitely had some of the best practice you could physically get.
Yeah.
Yeah. So kind of going through like some of the interesting things on the list then. Like there was certain things that I noticed like some people are playing two Urgler at the moment. But obviously you're just on the double pan and one Urgler. How come you chose those pairings?
Yeah. In testing, the second Urgula didn't really come up for me. It was like I was always thinking when I'm going second, what card I rather want in my hand, and I chose the Pan. So I chose the Pan over the Urgula because I thought the interruption with the pop is more important than a spell trap pop. But to be honest, now like almost a week later, I'm thinking that I should have run two Urgula because sometimes in a mirror match, the second one comes up, especially if they banish the first one with the Sting. It's like one of the only good targets for
Yeah.
Sting in the mirror match. And that's why, in retro perspective, I think I should have run two. It didn't really come up, um, but I think two is correct. Like I think you shouldn't run one. I just tried out something with the ratios because I wanted to fit a certain part of non-engine,
Yeah.
and I didn't want to cut on the pan because I thought it's a good interruption with the 5 mana. Because with the new quick play, the branded quick play, you choose to run less monsters, which makes 5 mana less life in the opponent's turn, which can be quite rough. I had it happen to me, unfortunately, in one round. I had like 5 mana and one other monster, and two spells and one trap in hand. So one of them was the branded quick play, and yeah, I think it's just something I risked on by
Yeah.
playing three quick plays.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at like a couple of the ratios because obviously, wow, it's still kind of new. And I was just seeing like I have seen there's some people are playing three. I've seen some people play one and play like a massive branded package. But obviously, you've gone well. You can say it's small, but there's still like what five, six cards of your deck. But did you ever find that you like missed any of like the Cartesias, or even like some people were siding into two Cartesias, or any like did you ever miss anything like that at all?
No, not at all. Like I was thinking between Cartesia and Fenrir in my side deck.
Okay.
Um, but the problem with Cartesia was that I already run that many normal summons. I mean, like six. Like with Molulu and Lucias, you already run six,
Yeah.
and I think that's more than enough. Most of the time, you want the Molulu rather than the Cartesia, in my opinion. For me, Cartesia was only an option if I would have run the seal package, so I can get the most value out of her, so I can link her off and get to add her back to hand,
Yeah.
like for the monster in my hand. And I think Fenrir does that you gain an additional monster, but you also get an interruption, and also you get an out to retaliating sea, which was my biggest concern.
Okay.
So yeah, that's why I didn't want to run the Cartesia, but I think people who run it, yeah, I think they work for them as well, but just for me, it wasn't enough to really side her.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, Seals was on my list of questions. I also noticed that some people were playing Cross Sheep as well. Did you not find any room for a Cross Sheep or didn't feel like playing
N-
it?
No, not at all. Like you already seen that I already played two Aphelion. I think that's
Yes.
odd for some people. I made the last second choice to run a second Secretarian Dragon because I mean I know my local area because like the Austrian Open was at my local store, so
Okay.
I knew a lot of people who were going there, and I've also have like groups with a lot of friends who also played there, and people were asking about getting retaliating Cs for the tournaments, and I saw that many people also played Dracotail as well. So I wanted to be prepared for the mirror match. And in testing the third Aphelion didn't really came up that much.
Okay.
Rather, I would have wanted a second Secretarian Dragon because like one of them gets outed pretty easily. Um, like sometimes you play the combo that the first Secretarian is on your first turn on board,
Okay.
and then they just out it like with Pan or Molulu negated. And to get it back to extra deck is like you have to play do an Aphelion and bounce it back from graveyard or from your field, and then use an extra fusion summon for that.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to have the choice that I can, if for example they negate the first Secretarian with the Molulu, I can just fuse the Secretarian with like another spellcaster for the second one.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it just comes like unexpected. Like people don't expect someone to play a second one,
Yeah.
and then they play right into it, and then they just lose the game because they make a second Aphelion, and they just don't get any Aphelion effects, and they don't get to add back their Dracotail cards, and then they just lose in a grind game.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's like, yes, that's kind of like a sneaky tech choice that you chose for the day. That makes a lot of sense, to be fair. Yeah, the Arthalion was another one that I was going to say. So it's interesting to see like your methodology on that. That makes a lot of sense. How was like consistency on the day? Did you find that like this amount of like branded cards mixed with Draco, like did you find that that was consistent enough?
Yeah, I didn't really have consistency problems in the whole tournament. Last round, like round 8, I think it was the first time I bricked. I just had like the quick play, but fortunately enough, my opponent played Mitsuyami and he started with normal Lollipo, and I just used the quick play to pop it and
Yeah.
sent the Albion, and then he just scooped because he probably didn't have an auto branded fusion.
Yeah.
So it kind of worked for me, but it was like the only time in day where I couldn't really play on my first turn. Other than that, I was pretty happy with the consistency. Maybe because I didn't play the second Urgula as well, because sometimes you brick on the dragons,
Yeah, fair enough.
like Pan Urgula. I mean, back then when the deck was new and popular, I think Jesse Cotton was running 3 of both, or like 3
Something
Pan at
silly like
least.
that, wasn't it? Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
it
I
being a
think 3
lot.
Pan and at least 2 Urgula, I think.
Yeah.
And back then you had the problem that you just break on those, like draw multiples of those, which you don't really want. And I think just by playing 3 dragons, like the bigger ones, I most of the time I just saw one, and that's most of the time we're fine because I could fuse them away with anything like the Mululu or Pymena. So
Yeah. So I guess because it is really the biggest part about Dracotail is how many of these do you play? I suppose like everything else is just kind of non-negotiable. So like you would still play the 3, but you would swap a Pan for Urgula. Would that be the only changes you would make there?
I'm not quite sure yet. I'm already testing for Bologna with new ratios and also some new stuff.
Okay.
But right now, I would probably play 2-2
Two
again. I
two.
would,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's interesting.
And I
Yeah.
might,
Oh, sorry.
sorry, yeah.
No, you go ahead.
Oh yeah, I might cut down on the quick plays, on the branded quick play.
Yeah, makes sense.
Like just, I think 2 quick plays are enough. The third one was pretty. I mean, in the tournament, it didn't really bother me. There was just one game I lost because I wish that I would have drawn a monster with the Phimena and the other monster in my hand instead of the quick play.
Ah, okay.
But all the other times, the quick play was pretty decent and it outed problematic stuff. And what's cool with the quick play is when you know that you're playing many Dracotail mirrors, you can just dodge the flame with the quick play, which is pretty nice. And
Yeah.
post siding in a mirror match, I have like 12 cards to dodge it. Like a free Ash, free Bell, free Cosmic Cyclone, double Cyclone, and 3 times the new quick play. So basically, my opponent's flame never really resolved, and also played like 3 mirror matches in the tournament.
Okay. So you played a decent
So
amount of Dracotail then.
yeah, exactly. Like I played, I think 3 Dracotail, 3 Mitsuyami, 1 Apophis,
Okay.
and 1 Malice.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that sounds about pretty. Yeah, that's kind of like a nice split. Even from a testing point of view, that's like kind of exactly what you want to play going into Bologna. I feel like that's like kind of representative of the room, to be fair.
Yeah, it was ideal. Like the first round was against the Apophis matchup,
Okay.
and the quick play actually won me the game because my opponent flipped the non-fusion area on me.
Oh,
But I could have just I just popped it, and so I won the duel.
yeah,
That was pretty cool.
that's kind of nuts, non-fusion area. Yeah, you don't
Yeah,
really expect that, do you?
no, not at
Uh,
all.
Man was on the goo, but yeah, fair enough. So, like, did you find that double cycling worked quite well then?
Oh yeah, it was amazing. Like I think right now I would still play it in Bologna because I think many people will be playing Dracotail because we now saw YC's Pittsburgh and Dracotail won it, and there
Hmm.
was a fair representation in the top cut, and
Yeah,
many good people also played it. So I think many people will just copy the list because they don't know exactly what they will play in Bologna because there aren't that many options, to be honest.
yeah.
And I think Double Cyclone is a card. I mean, the only thing is if it doesn't bother you that you're playing a spell post sighting instead of a monster, I think Double Cyclone is the perfect card for the mirror match. And they're like, I don't think there's any card that's better in the mirror match right now.
Okay.
Obviously, Ash and Bell are good, but you already play them, so
Yeah.
I'm not thinking of any side deck card. Like you could play Retaliating Sea yourself, but it wouldn't do you any favor, and that's
Yeah.
why I think
Feels.
Double Cyclone is the perfect card. Because when you start with the best thing you can do is start going second against the Dracotail mirror match. You can start with Ketu or Rahu,
Yeah.
and if they use Flame, you can just chain the Double Cyclone and also out this thing, and they cannot even activate this thing because you don't have any cards in graveyard unless you hand trap then your turn.
Yeah.
But I think in the mirror match you wouldn't use Ash or Bell anyways in the opponent's turn because you want to keep it for Flame because it's way too risky to Ash Lucias or Kato, for example. If they already have it, you just waste your Ash Possum.
Yeah.
And you can think of using Bell on Urgula Adback, but I think most of the time it's probably still safer to just keep it for your turn for the traps.
Yeah.
Because without the traps, you just have to do the Secretarian standoff battle. And
Yeah.
most of the time, when you're the turn player, you have way more options to out the opponent's Secretarian than they have to out your Secretarian.
Yeah. That's fair enough. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. And sorry, 2 seconds, just checking my questions. Yeah, and how did you find the new Abbas Fusion? I think it's this one. Did you find like the removal came up much, and like did it feel relevant in a lot of matchups?
There was one matchup, I think, was it against Malice? I think I just summoned him once the tournament, but it was pretty good in that spot because I could clear like two bodies,
Yeah.
two Malice bodies, and also the shuffle back was pretty good because I shuffled. What was it? I think I shuffled back one of the Malice monsters he didn't use yet, so he couldn't
Oh, big. Yeah.
banish them later on with Lizard Doors or something
Yeah.
like that. I don't exactly remember how it was, but the shuffle effect actually came up, and in I think one mirror match it also came up. I shuffled back his Albion, which is
Okay.
end with the quick play as well, so you can do some pretty cool stuff with it. Like I don't know if I would still play it after this tournament. One card I was missing. I mean, it didn't cost me any games, so it wouldn't have won me any other games if I played it. But I think you should play it. Is Mysterion? I didn't play him in the list at all.
Yes, that's the one that's I'll pull it up just.
Mhm.
Mm, yes, that one there. I don't know how I didn't see it. Yeah, this is the one. It's especially good into well anything with the same type, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It can be good in the Mitsurugi matchup
Yeah.
when they used like the one of the bigger ones to reborn, and you catch them off guard. You can just banish his Murakumo and Futsu at the same time.
Yeah.
So, and that's pretty big. It's like it wins you the duel on the spot. It also helps you in the Lunar Light matchup, which I kind of disrespected in this tournament.
Okay.
I was playing the Light Kaichu first, so I can send him with Branded Fusion and add it back with Aphelion. But I didn't wanna. I really didn't wanna fit uneven side deck cards. Like I wanted trios of
Yeah,
all of those, and
yeah.
I didn't wanna cut any of those down to two. So I was just like, if I play against Luna Light, I hope my hand traps will beat them.
Well, I mean,
So I just pray.
technically you have the big guy, but I think the big guy can get over it, can it?
It can get over it, but you just have to bait out the. I don't know. Wait, it's unaffected, right? It's this guy. I
Uh,
think it was like unaffected from other specials.
yeah, and the monster special from the exit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he can out it.
Well, you can only.
Yeah,
The only
I
problem is you
guess.
can only out one. He can't crash over the other in the same turn. I don't think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I suppose if you manage to hand trap them so they only get to one, and then you can just Titanic Lad over the top, that's kind of gets you there, I suppose. But yeah, and then how did so there's a couple other ones like how did Dark Ruler feel?
Oh, Dark Ruler was pretty good. So I think Dracotail always had the problem with closing out games on the second turn. I think it's almost impossible unless your opponent breaks or just doesn't put up a good board.
Yeah,
And or just do 5 mana and clear his whole board. But still, then it's quite rough to OTK him. So I think Dracotail is one of the few decks where you can use Dark Ruler and still win the game in his turn 3 because you just have the trap set up and also like at least one trap set up, and you can also recycle your hand traps on your turn, which you threw on the first turn.
yeah,
So Dark Ruler was pretty insane because I think you always have a tough time against the Yami Mitsu board. I think
yeah,
if you play against the full board, it's pretty tough to beat. And Dark Ruler really helps with that. And against Melis, I was thinking of just using Dark Ruler because the Omni Negate can be really painful.
yeah. That's fair enough. Okay, yeah. I mean, it makes sense. Dark Ruler at the moment still feels strong, especially into Yummy. Like just having a card that just gets rid of so much interaction is pretty big. And then yeah. So anything you would change? Like I know you said about Bologna, you don't have to reveal if you've um want to hold on to the spice. But would there be anything you would change?
Yeah. I'm thinking of cutting. I was also talking about that in my deck profile. I think I will cut the Drolls
Okay.
because even when I played against Mitsurugi Yami in the tournament, while siding, to be honest, I made the deck really like the day before the Open, so my side deck patterns weren't really finished then, and I also like threw in the Fenrir's in the morning of the tournament instead of, I don't even know what the other cards were, to be honest. But I put the Fenris in last minute. So my side deck changed a bit. And while siding, I didn't think the draw could fit in the deck post siding. Like I would rather have Dark Ruler against Mitsuyami because I know that Dark Ruler at least trades with the Herald and Droll doesn't.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
And Droll really sometimes when they start like with prayers and draw phase, just doesn't feel that good.
Yeah,
And you also just lose. And Droll is not a hand trap that you really wanna add back with the Aphelion. Um,
yeah,
because it's like with Ash and Bell, you can add them back in your turn to like in the Dracotail mirror match, so you can use Ash and Bell again, or against Yami as well. Sometimes you can add the Bell back you used the turn before, so you can stop the Synchros from taking out, or
yeah,
like the Murakumo, Prayer's Part, anything. But Joel doesn't really do anything except being a spellcaster. So
yeah,
there aren't really matchups where Droll is really kills the opponent's deck, in my opinion. Like still, if you draw Mitsuyami, they will still have the Mitsu board, the Yami board, and sometimes even the Mitsu board. Who knows what they open with? But they will always have the Yami board, and that's also like hard to deal with, especially when you're one card down.
yeah,
So I would rather have the Dark Ruler, which I'm certain that they can out more than one card at once.
yeah. Okay.
And yeah, that's probably one of the only things I would change. Maybe you could add Lancia for the Melis matchup, and it also covers the Orcust and Lunalight matchup. I think those decks will still be played in Bologna.
Yeah. Okay.
So you can face them in the first 3 to 5 rounds, definitely. And maybe
Yeah.
you just want some more side deck cards for these matchups.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, there is still a decent amount of malice around, so it makes sense that it's yeah. Because I'm pretty sure I think Yuna piloted Malice again
Oh yeah,
the other day at an Open as well, and I'm pretty sure someone else won a regional or Open with Malice the other week as well. So like it's still topping and doing well. I feel like people have written it off so that they're not playing Lancia, but yeah, when I was looking through some of the other Dracotail decks, there was a couple of Lancias here or there, which was interesting. So um, yeah, it makes sense, especially the early rounds. I imagine you would see a lot more Malice than
especially what you can do in Dracotail is again because Lancier is light. Obviously, you can send it with Branded Fusion and add
oh
it back with Valion.
yep
So if you really wanna demolish Malice, you can do that.
yeah
I don't know if it's necessary, but Life in Malice is one. It's funny. It can be the easiest matchup and the worst matchup because
yeah
of Shifter and Defissure.
yeah
But it can be easy because my Malice matchup was um, in the open. He just normal Jesse Cat, and I just used 5 mana to bounce it, and then his turn was over.
oof
So it can happen like that, and also like paired with Bell and Nip, you and Fuva, you're playing like the worst hand traps for the Malice matchup,
yeah
except Lancia, of course. And also like the first game, I got double Fuvat. I
oof
got Bell, Ash, Impulse, like two traps, like one was Ash, one was Bell. Then I got Impulse on my 5 mana. And I still won that game just because I had Nibiru in hand and they just can't really outplay it. And
yeah
just one more Nibiru plus I think Horn was live. Just Horn bounce back the normal summon is so rough for them.
yeah that makes
Um,
sense
so I think Malice. I mean, if they open Shifter, they just open Shifter, and if they have Defibler, the branded package helps because
yeah
you can use Albion, Lubellion, and shuffle back, or Albion shuffle back, and make Chaos, and Chaos can just pop the Fissure.
yeah yeah
So that's like the line to beat. That's why the branded package is nice.
yeah yeah that makes sense. It adds a lot of value to it. Would there be any particular like MVPs of the day? Any card you found particularly above the rest?
Um, I really like the quick play, the new one.
Yeah
Because it just there are so many cool plays you can do with it. Like just to I dodged flames, I popped floodgates. In the mirror match once, my opponent made actually a really cool play. He had I think Mirror Jade on boards and Rentbrom, and then he used the quick plays and Albas, and then reborn the Albas with the Rentbrom, and it would just totally killed me. But I also had quick play, so I could quick play use on his Albas.
oh
So
yeah
some both scenarios for my opponent and for me, the quick play was really good in that scenario. So I think you can just do so much stuff. Like you can also, if your opponent whalers or imperms your Falion, you can dodge that as well. So much utility of offensive and defense
yeah
wise.
100%. Because can it pop your own card? Did you say as well?
Yeah,
Yeah
just
yeah
one card in the field. It's insane.
yeah, which is very impactful. And then yeah, you spoke about your matchups. Obviously, you had like quite a nice thread. Did you say it was how many games was it on the day? I wasn't sure how many rounds.
It was 8 rounds.
And then it's no top cut
And
because it's open, isn't it?
yeah, right. It's like an regional.
Yes.
And funny thing, I don't think it's mentioned anywhere, but I didn't go undefeated.
Okay.
I went 7-1. Like the first, was it 5? I think the first 5 people were 7-1. There was no clear winner.
Ooh.
But the thing is, my tiebreak was just so good. Like I won against the like 2 guys who went 7-1 as well. They
Okay.
just lost. They just lost to me.
Yeah.
And also like the guy I lost to got 6th place. The other guy like I won against was 2nd place, and the other one was I think 5th place. So against like three people from the top eight. Other three people I won or just played against. So my top cut was my tiebreak was pretty insane. I
Yeah,
played against a lot of good people that day. Also like people I know in the Austrian community.
yeah,
So I'm really proud of my results,
yeah.
and I think I also didn't do any misplays on that day. Like I was pretty locked in.
Happy
Let's say it
days.
like that.
Yeah. What was your
Yeah.
loss to?
It was the Dracotail mirror, but
Ah,
it was just I was just unlucky. That was exactly the game I was talking about before. In game three, I opened 5 mana with just one monster,
yes.
and I opened the one trap I didn't set out, and then I opened like
Okay.
two spells, and he had I had Rahu and Branded Fusion, but he also had an Ash Blossom. So without the Ash Blossom, it
Yeah.
could have I could have won game three maybe. And which was really unlucky is that I play post siding. As I told you, I played 12 outs for Flame, and I didn't draw any of
Oh,
those 12s.
that's
And so,
insane.
I mean, it happens. It can happen, like especially if you play 8 rounds. Rounds like that have to happen.
Yeah.
But I was fine with it because I didn't really misplay and lose. So there was just nothing I could really do, and that was fine for me.
Yeah.
And I mean, I still won the tournament. So that
Yeah.
happened in round seven, and because my thanks to my opponents, and also thanks to my friend Jonas, who I beat in round five, who got second place. He
Awesome.
won. That was on stream on the final against the guy who was who was undefeated at the moment, and he made it happen, so I can win. So
The final round, then I presume you were like table one, like that was for the finals, or was it only after, or were you like table two, table three?
yeah, I was table two, and
Ooh.
my friend Jonas was like on table one against the guy who was undefeated at the moment. But
Oh,
because
okay.
he won against the guy who was undefeated, and I won against Jonas, and I think the other guy who was like just standing to one.
Okay.
My tiebreak was just the best out of all, and that's why I came in first. Which was really unlucky is that the guy who was undefeated in the last round just got third place, not even second place. Quite tough with the tie breaks. I don't know.
No, it's interesting how the tiebreakers work on that, but obviously, like you beat most of the top eight, then that makes a lot of sense. Um, and then did you
Yeah.
find that like did you win many dice rolls throughout the day? How did you like your games tend to go?
Let me check. I made a note. I always note those for testing purpose.
Yeah.
Like in the 8 rounds, I won 5 dice rolls, which is pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
So, and I also, yeah, I won every round, which I won the dice.
Okay.
Um, yeah, well, I think I didn't drop a single game one because the
Oh,
deck is
nice.
just so like the deck is so insane. You have every hand trap for every matchup, and just with the good thing about the deck is that you can always you don't have to worry about drawing Lockbird most of the time. You don't have to worry about Fuvalos. You just give him one draw.
Yeah.
Um, Especially, you always want to start with normal Mululu, not Lucias, because when you get forward, in best case, you have two other names, and you can just make a Falion and just set all three and pass
Yeah.
all three traps, and you just that's just an insane trade. And I think it happened once or twice in the tournament. So I think when you go first with the deck, game one, and you don't brick, you always win it because the problem cards are in the side deck like Retaliating Sea, and against main deck cards you just have the upper hand with your non-engine, and all the free traps can come in clutch against all the specific matchups. So you just have to know what your opponent's deck does, and then it's pretty easy to win with this deck a lot, I think.
Yeah, I feel like that is the big thing with Dracotail. Is like if you understand what everyone else is doing, I feel like your interactions become a lot easier. It's I guess it's kind of like when people say like labyrinth in a way. I remember when this first came out, people kind of said it was very similar to labyrinth. Like your interactions need to be meaningful, but when you do them and you do them perfectly, you can just shut people down and they just don't get turns anymore. Like I said, like bouncing the chassis cat back was turn ending. So stuff like that
Yeah.
is it's big. But yeah, anything you think I've missed out on? You've missed out on? Anything you want to go over?
Nothing really. I think there is not much special stuff in this list going on. Maybe the double cyclone or maybe the 6 spells in the side deck, but I explained it earlier why I did like them.
Yeah,
But I can also see people not wanting to play that many spells, especially post siding. That's why I would also cut down the new quick play in the main deck.
yeah,
But most of the time, you side out like 2 traps and 1 K2, 1 Rahu going second, so you just trade them for other spells. And I think 26 is still a high monster count in main deck.
yeah,
So most of the time, you won't have trouble opening 2 more monsters with 5 mana if you open her. But it can definitely happen. If you don't want it to happen that often, you just play 15 monsters. So you can play Whaler. I didn't. Yeah, that's one thing. Many people played Whaler in their lists. I saw in the Dracotail list, but I didn't like Whaler because of the new quick play. Because if you Whaler your opponent's Aphelion, which is the best target, they can just use the quick play to dodge it, and then you
yes.
just lose 1 card for free. And I didn't wanna risk that.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, it kind of feels like it's just insignificant at that point, then,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
And against Mitsuyami, Whaler doesn't do shit. And against
Yeah.
Melis, it doesn't really unless it's okay, against Melis, it can
Depends on the
help,
hand,
but
I
still,
suppose.
yeah, but if they just open any bestial with it, it's getting tough
Yeah,
again.
yeah,
So I didn't want to risk it. Like Whaler was so low impact for me. I just thought that Dark Ruler is the better side deck card against those decks, and against Dracotail you have 12 cards which are good in the mirror match, so at
yeah.
least 12. Yeah.
That's fair enough. Okay, awesome. And
Yeah.
then lastly, any shout outs or anything you want to do then?
Yeah, shoutouts to my team, to the Starlight gang, um, who lent me some cards for the tournament, and also who are always testing me with me. Yeah,
Awesome.
that's it.
Thank you very much, and thank you for coming on. Congratulations once again, and good luck with Bologna. I mean, you had very good testing for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you very much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much for inviting me.